What is going on, everybody? We are still on lockdown and still afraid to cut our own hair. I wanted to do a little more lighthearted video this time. I found this old quiz. It was actually on WebMD. Can you identify this celebrity based on their smile? So let's get into it. All right. So this first one is, I think this is easy. This is obviously Brad Pitt. One thing I notice about his smile, he clearly has some wear. I bet he grinds his teeth at least some. So you can see on the central incisors, or when somebody says front teeth, they usually mean central incisors, the two right in the front. There is some chipping on those incisal edges. So he probably does grind his teeth a little bit. A lot of us do, and nobody's perfect. So again, gives the smile a little bit of character. This is actually considered a very masculine trait in a smile, to have these flattened edges. Whereas if you look at the more feminine smile, you see like these curves. And the next one in here is actually that. So Brad Pitt, and of course, who's next? This is obviously Angelina Jolie. The first thing that I noticed about this is that this tooth, that's a lateral incisor, is really angulated. So if you look at the symmetry here, so these three are fairly straight. That would be like what the textbooks would call average. And this one is angulated pretty significantly to that side. Again, just an example. It's just, again, part of that character. Okay, this is obviously Will Smith. Couple things to point out about this. He has what's called a diastema, which is the little space between your front teeth. Also, he has some lower front tooth crowding, which is extremely common. So again, just to point that out, because this is Will Smith. He's handsome, he's a millionaire, super successful actor. He's got a little bit of crowding. So everybody thinks celebrity smile, they've all got veneers, everything's, perfect, and that's just not the case. Everybody has a little bit of character. So I honestly didn't know who this is, and then even when I saw the name Sofia Vergara, I don't know who that is. Please feel free to, make fun of me or whatever you need to do. The first thing I notice about this is these teeth are obviously crowns or veneers, because there's a couple things that clue you into that. One is they look nice, and so this isn't critical. This is just my eye as a dentist. You can see these things. The teeth look from bottom to top, they're like one consistent width. The other thing is the shade is so consistent top to bottom. That is rare to see in nature, especially going back to these back teeth. To have back teeth that are that light and that much the same color as those front ones is again, it's rare. And then it's one of those things, there's just intuition. I just look at this and I know that just looks more like porcelain than it looks like enamel. Here's another one. This is obviously George Clooney, but look how similar his smile is to Brad Pitt's. Again, very square edges, and that is typically associated with a masculine looking smile. Whereas a feminine looking smile, things are a little rounded, a little more soft. You'll notice that even, in all movie stars, actors, things like that. It's typically the guys that are like really man's men, sort of masculine guys, are going to have a little more flat, square smile. They're not going to have as prominent of central incisors, whereas the leading ladies are going to have a little bit more rounded, soft contours in their teeth. And then usually the central incisors are a little bit more prominent. There's obviously exceptions to that, but that is not just like me saying what I think. This is in cosmetic dentistry textbooks, that these are sort of guidelines that we often follow. Well, hopefully you had some fun with that. I know I did. Stay safe, enjoy the beautiful day we finally have outside, and I cannot wait to see you guys soon.